Hi, first grade. April is poetry month. So a couple weeks ago we wrote the acrostic poems, and that was where you had a word going up and down vertically, and then you wrote words that started with each letter to make a poem. So today we're going to learn about a poet. His name is Shel Silverstein. He wrote a book called Where the Sidewalk Ends. That's one of the stories that he wrote. What I like about Shel Silverstein is that he writes funny poems. So I'm going to open one up and read it to you. And I'll hook up the document camera. This is one of Shel Silverstein's poems from Where the Sidewalk Ends. It's called 1 Inch Tall. If you were only 1 inch tall, you'd ride a worm to school. The teardrop of a crying ant would be your swimming pool. A crumb of cake would be a feast, and last you 7 days at least. A flea would be a frightening beast, if you were 1 inch tall. If you were only 1 inch tall, you'd walk beneath the door, and it would take about a month to get down to the store. A bit of fluff would be your bed. You'd swing upon a spider's thread and wear a thimble on your head. If you were 1 inch tall, you'd surf across the kitchen sink upon a stick of gum. You couldn't hug your mama, you'd just have to hug her thumb. You'd run from people's feet in fright. To move a pen would take all night. This poem took 14 years to write, 'cause I'm just 1 inch tall. I hope you like that poem. I think that Shel Silverstein writes funny poems. Do you think that you would like being 1 inch tall? I don't know if I would. I'm going to read one more poem to you, and this is a poem that you have by Shel Silverstein. It's your Band-Aids poem. So I'm going to read that to you. So this is called Band-Aids. You can follow along with your packet, or you can watch as I read. This is another one that I think is very silly. Band-Aids. I have a Band-Aid on my finger, one on my knee and one on my nose, one on my heel and 2 on my shoulder, 3 on my elbow and 9 on my toes, 2 on my wrist and 1 on my ankle, 1 on my chin and 1 on my thigh, 4 on my belly and 5 on my bottom, 1 on my forehead and 1 on my eye, 1 on my neck, and in case I might need 'em, I have a box full of 35 more. But oh, I do think it's sort of a pity I don't have a scar or a sore. You know, first grade, sometimes we just get hurt. So today, we're going to write poems about the times that we have needed a Band-Aid and gotten hurt. So, on our Band-Aids packet, it should be stapled together, and you can just pull them apart. And on one side, you have, it says ouch and lines. We're going to use this one first. So let me hook this back up. This paper is a rough draft. A rough draft means that you are brainstorming all of the things that you have gotten hurt from. So once you have a list of all your ideas, then you can start your final draft. Your final draft means your finished piece of writing. So here we're just brainstorming things that we have, times that we've gotten hurt. So one time when I was younger, I fell off my scooter. Another time one time I had a bad sunburn. One time I had a bad paper cut and I needed a Band-Aid. Another time I accidentally fell off my bike. But good thing I was wearing a helmet. Another time I accidentally burned my, I accidentally burned my hand on the oven and it left a bad scar. That hurt. And I'll come up with one more. I'm going to say one time I had a sore back from bending over for a long time and lifting things up that was too heavy for me. So you can brainstorm all of the things that you make you say ouch. Then when you're done with brainstorming, you are going to write on your final draft, which is your Band-Aid. Okay. Now the first thing that we're going to do, you're going to want your rough draft handy, so I'm just going to put it right here next to me. And the first thing we're going to do is write the title of our poem. The title is Ouch! And then you're going to write the things that you wrote on your rough draft. So I said, fell on my scooter. And this is a poem, so you can decide if you want each line of your poem to start with a capital letter. On my rough draft, I capitalized all the first words on each of my lines, but you don't have to. You can decide whether or not you want to have a capital letter. You can also, back on your rough draft, you can write as many or as few words that you get hurt from, because it's your poem, so you get to decide how many you want. So, fell on my scooter, sun burned, paper cut, and I'm going to write all of the things that I said make me hurt. And at the very end of my poem, I'm going to write ouch again. Ouch. Once I'm done writing my final draft and I am happy the way that it looks, I used my best handwriting. I spelled out each of the words and took my time. Then you can get out your crayons and markers and decorate your Band-Aid. You can use brown and make it a normal regular Band-Aid, or you can make it fun and have a design on your Band-Aid. And then you can take a picture and have your mom and dad upload it and send it to me. Have fun writing like Shel Silverstein. And now it's time to see if I can take these Band-Aids off. Ouch!